Russia says it fulfills an order to pay $170 million in Eurobond interest, but a number of creditors said the funds have yet to be received. The debt payments came due this week and are seen as the first test of whether Moscow will be able to meet its obligation in the wake of Western sanctions. Well, Alexander Prosviryakov is president of the private investment advisory firm Whitestone. Thanks ever so much for coming on the programme. Now, Russia says it's made the payments. How long will it be able to keep on paying?
Well, Russia indeed made the payment, but it did by issuing a payment order to use the frozen funds to pay the creditors. And about 20 minutes ago, we received information that the clearing agent processed these funds. So we're expecting to receive the coupons any minute now. I hope we do so, and I hope Russia avoids the default. The Minister of Finance said that if the agents do not process the payment, then Russia will pay in rubles, which should avoid default in Russia's understanding, but not in the international courts, the juridical understanding. Russia has the money. They have $630 billion of reserve. The problem is nearly all of the liquid reserves are frozen due to the sanctions. But apart from that, Russia is still receiving a lot of hard currency. Russian companies are selling oil to Europe, and about $550 million per day are paid to Russia. So that's about $200 billion per year is the dollars, the hard currency Russia is receiving. Russia can use that money to pay. It is not frozen.
And yet, default or no default, Russia is buckling under the economic backlash from its invasion with all the foreign sanctions. In terms of how investable Russia is it uninvestable?
It is absolutely uninvestable from a foreign point of view. You cannot physically invest. Most of the investment instruments are blocked, so you cannot buy Russian assets on any of the exchanges worldwide. The banks, the brokers will not process any deal to invest in Russian assets. You can only buy Russia inside Russia if you open an account as a non-resident, but Russia blocked all non-residents from receiving any proceeds in Russia, so you cannot receive the money if you go inside Russia and invest using a Russian vehicle. So this is indeed very disturbing. Russia is limiting itself from the money that could go inside the country, could be used to invest in the country. And this is indeed not very good and very disturbing.
So you say Russia's limiting itself. What's the role then of Russia's central bank in limiting the damage from the conflict?
What Russia's central bank tries to do is limit the amount of money that could float outside of Russia. This is why they're blocking the accounts of non-residents. We know that the Russian residents cannot send money abroad. These payments are also blocked. So the central bank is trying to keep the money inside the country. This is why we see all these measures. It will help in the short term because money will not go away. Like a lot of money will not leave Russia straight away, but it will indeed hurt Russia from the reputation point of view, and people will be afraid to invest any money in Russia given that these measures take place.
So help in the short term, but long term, more question marks. Alexander Prosviryakov, thank you.
Thank you.